Okay, how y'all doing? It's been a while since I uploaded anything, and you can tell that by there being two Car of the Month entries instead of one on one of these videos. And so what we got here is the Barbenheimer vehicle for August, and if y'all hear anything, it's my dad meowing at the cat, so sorry about that. But anyway, so yeah, this is the Barbenheimer Car of the Month entry, and so it's, part Barbie, part Oppenheimer, and it's I'm running this as a heavy truck with ram, rockets, improvised sledge thrower, napalm, and side-mounted machine guns. So it's a heavily armored Barbie dream camper, and it started its life out as a 3D printed model, and you can see the drain holes that there used to be there. Yeah, a little piece of paper stuck there. All right, but so this this RV, I printed it out, and I was originally just going to do, a pink RV with more of a military theme to it, and my brother talked me into making it the EM50 from Stripes, and so it's it's the Barbie movie, it's Oppenheimer movie, and it's also Bill Murray Stripes inspired vehicle. So if you've ever seen that movie, you kind of recognize where a lot of this comes from. So you got the sliding machine guns, and everything is, hidden weapons, and it's a Vernie build, so it's about dropping that napalm on people. And you got a unicorn little spare tire thing. And you got a temporary tattoo that I put up here. That's the gas mask with the atomic bomb, and that kind of ties it more into the Oppenheimer thing. And didn't win, but that's okay. You got the Oppenheimer guy is this gunslinger guy, and he's with a gas mask, and he's borrowing one of Barbie's pistols, and he's got the K6 designation, and you got Barbie here, who is was originally a 3D printed Poison from Street Fighter that broke when I was trying to take the supports off of it, so I ended up using that. There's several different pinks and stuff that I used on it. And I tried to take a little bit of James Hall's criticisms to heart about, highlighting and trying to bring out the detail, but with this one, it was hard to paint it and then put the figures on, and I have a hard time doing that anyway, but I still like how this turned out, and it's still a very usable vehicle for the game. And this is a companion vehicle I made for it, so this is the team. It's also got a sledge thrower, this performance car, sat nav, and it's got the armored rear end of Vernie vehicles are known for, a microplate armor, it's improvised sledge thrower, and napalm as well. And the crazy colorful skulls and the lovesick thing across it, that's just nail art decals. I found those. I really like using those. They're really good. So when I get some time, I'm gonna pick up some more of them, because I think they work really for Gaslands almost better than regular decals, because they're kind of they're a little more malleable than a decal is, a traditional decal. You got to put them on the model, and traditional decals have a bad habit of wanting to crumble or split, especially when you're trying to take them off the paper. And I'm admittedly a bit heavy-handed, so these are a little tougher. They hold up to being manhandled a little bit more. And then when you get it in place, you can trim it with a knife. You can see here, because it would have wrapped all the way around, and then, but yeah, so that's a very simple build. I mean, it's pretty much just gluing some armor plates on. That back plate came off of a Dollar Tree tank from like the 90s. So, but that's that one. And then this vehicle. This is my Car of the Month vehicle for September. And the theme then was High Five. And I wish I had thought about it at the time. But everybody was doing you were allowed to do dioramas or a team of cars. Well, I did not have the time to do a team. Some people know that I've had some family health issues with my father, and I've been with him in the hospital taking care of him. So I got way behind on schedule, and there was a time I really was thinking I wasn't even going to do a vehicle. So I got into this month's competition a little bit, September's competition a bit late. But I still managed to get this one out. And as I was working on, my original idea was this hand launcher. The idea of having a single vehicle, like 2 days before the deadline, I came up with the self high five reference and feel the bang. If you're a fan of 90s wrestling, you know where I'm getting this from. Because one of the best wrestlers WCW ever had. And I wish I had thought about it from the get-go, doing a single vehicle, because I would have changed that hand up. That hand is all scratch built, by the way. So that is pieces of sprue, sculpting. The talon tips are off of a Chaos Space Marine Power Fists. And then you got the little spiked holder. It's a little hard to see in photos, so I'm trying to get a good, you can see here. So these little spikes are what holds the bomb in place. And so the guy gets up here, places the bomb, and then he gets down here and gets the next explosive to be hurled. But for right now, he's sitting here waving at the crowd. This is it's a World War One. It's either World War One or World War II officer that I cut up, and think it was Confederate soldiers, 172nd soldiers, that I cut the arms off of to kind of get that look there where he's kind of got the bomb. It ended up looking kind of like a construction worker, big beefy construction worker holding the bomb. But still, you got the idea of him, waving to the crowd, before the race starts, showing off. And so there's a crew inside. It's a little hard to see, but I like how this one turned out. And I did, of course, I love doing the burn-in look on the exhausts. And the chassis here is built basically out of Lego parts, so it's, got some heft to it. But, of course, the big thing is, this here is a completely functional 360-degree turret for flinging explosives at people, because it's also an improvised sludge thrower. Because again, this is a Vernie vehicle too, so it's got the armored tailgate for the tombstone. And now this one here, a lot of the decals here, these are traditional decals. But the stars and I think, yeah, I think it's just the stars on this one. I'll show another one. You'll see. But these are rub-on transfers from Pinewood Derby cars. And they worked out really well. I'm really happy with how they turned out. Put those down, and then, you know, again, this is magic right here. This is magic in a bottle. You put a little layer of this on temporary tattoos, these rub-on decals, and they're not coming off unless you dip them in some sort of paint thinner or something. But that's my competition vehicles, and you know, I hope I get something out of the September one. But you never know. It's fun. But I did get to work on Cult of Inferno, and so in my plans, I've got Warden and the rest of some Verni to build. But the first one we want to talk about is Desdemona. If I'm not mistaken, Latin for bat is Desmondus. Because I think vampire bat is Desmondus rotundus or something like that. But, so that's where I got the idea of calling this one Desdemona. And it's a vampire bat. It's got kind of a little bit of an homage to Night Lord's 40K. But it's got the ram. The original Hot Wheels vehicle didn't have the bottom teeth. I made the bottom teeth. And made the cultist. And the cultist, he didn't print out too well either. He was originally holding his hand out like this, and there was like a ball of fire in his hand, and that arm didn't form, so I was a little bummed about that, and so I replaced the arm with a more muscular arm and made it look like, you know, his robe is ripped, and you know, he's holding onto the wires that it's basically rains, and he's got the flag, you know, burn it all down, and on the other side of the flag is, you know, have a nice day. And again, there's the nail art, fingernail art decals. They work great. But pretty simple build. It's RAM, napalm dropper, and a good strategy for Cult of Inferno is what they call Highway to Hell. And at the starting gate, if you have your opponent sitting here, you can activate Highway to Hell, take 2 points of damage, and then your template, your movement template, as you come across, alright, counts as napalm. So you just napalm dropped this vehicle right at gate 1, and you're doing your ram damage. And this being a monster truck, you just went over top of them, and, you know, that's your turn. Next turn, the way the game works, there's not much room. They're going to have to turn sharp to get away, come this way, you know. Maybe a short can fit right there without hitting, you know. But you put them in such a dilemma, and they're on fire. And it is such a brutal, mean trick to do. Especially if you have a teammate with Purifying Flame that can sit there and heal the 2 points of damage off of your monster truck. Because monster trucks, they are glass cannons in Gaslands. They are tremendously powerful vehicles, well worth the cans of the vehicle, but they do not have a lot of staying power. But that aside, that is one of the best dirty tricks in Gaslands if you like monster trucks. And I love how this bad girl turned out. I really do. Love how I got the lightning to do. That is a very difficult technique to pull off. So, got that one. And then on the little bit lighter side, got the Dragonfly. And got this 2-part epoxy putty. It's Gorilla 2-part epoxy. You can find it in any hardware store. It is the perfect water effect stuff. You don't have to buy water effects stuff from a hobby store. Just go to Ace Hardware or Lowe's or Home Depot, and get you a tube of that, and mix it up. It mixes clear, dries clear, and it looks like water. This, you just take I took 2 drops of paint and mixed it in there. Yeah, it turned into this toxic sludgy material, and it's got little bubbles, and you can see it's leaking out from the side here. And that formed the base of this little gyrocopter. And didn't do much with the gyrocopter, just put some bomb canisters on it, and some decals. And so yeah, I mean, it's basically a cult scout that flies over and bombs people and lights them on fire, like all good cultists should. And then we got these 3D printed treats. Now, these were scaled down Death Corps of Krieg bikes with sidecars for $40K. And I kind of modified them a bit. So they've got 3D printed flamers for front flame, and basically cut some heads off and replace some heads. You got the fuel canister in the back, and the base is just, it's some popsicle sticks glued together, double layered for support. And I haven't named these 2 yet, but I kind of like this guy here. He turned out really well. The gray and the orange, I think, really looks a lot better than the metallic purple. I was trying to make them look different than each other. But yeah, so that's pretty much these 2. And yeah, Cult, they normally the Cult of Inferno is like a heavier version of Idris. But they do have access to the speed perks, and so having bikes with flamers, that is something a buggy or another fast vehicle like a performance car does not want to have on its tail. So that's what that one was for. And then I have this one. This is the Diablo. I haven't named it anything yet. I've just been calling it Diablo or Crimson Diablo. But got a front-mounted flamethrower. Cut the Space Marine power packs up. So these are smoke launchers. And so again, this is the rub-on Pinewood Derby decals. And again, they're sealed. Very simple build. Not too technical with this one. But it looks great. It's tabletop ready, and it's ready to light something on fire. And that one has some teammates with it as well, and that is this 56 Mercury and this Cadillac Eldorado Broheim, and they have turreted flamers. The 56 Merc is the Honey Mary, and she's got these pink candles on fire. I don't know how they would be staying lit, but cult magic, I guess. But I like this garnet red. It looks really good, and it's this is a pretty simple build. The crew in there was harder to do than anything. And it's the most overlooked, hard to see aspect of the vehicle. But I like it anyway. It's fine. And then, of course, the Cadillac's got the big air cleaner. And got a guy with a gas mask. And got a lady, redheaded lady with a pistol. You never want to piss off a redheaded lady with a pistol. So again, flamethrower turret. And use some Halloween nail art decals. It's just very simple, and I don't really have a name for that one either, but I kind of like the pumpkin fire thing going on with it, so I'll have to think of something for that one later. But anyway, they're not the only team vehicles I've got. These are my Cult of the Inferno ice cream trucks. This is the Saint flavor Inferno ice cream. As you can see, the flavors of the ice cream are jalapeno, ghost pepper, sriracha, and of course vanilla. If you want to be a heathen. You know, some people just can't take spice. But you can see there's Saint flavor as visage on the roof. And it's got a mine launcher, and the guy in here, you can see he's got Molotovs and a little pig mask, and you got the chef who's got a pistol and probably doesn't want to hear you complain too much about his ice cream and food. And so again, pretty simple build on this one. I jacked it up with these 3D printed suspension pieces, and 3D printed wheels kind of give it a little bit of bulk to it, and then I hid the spaces with a piece of drinking straw, so it looks a little bit like it's got a suspension to it. And then we got this one. It's the Taco Bomb. Cult of the Inferno eats half off. You know, Viva la Boom. And tacos and other stuff, because they ran out of space. It's got the World Eaters kind of decals, you know, just to drive home that more cult feeling, and the higher wheels. Just to get those in place better, I just kept the regular wheels. Kind of lazy, but it still works. Because you can't really see the regular wheels unless I turn it over like this. And it sits high on there like one of the swamp buggies. And so you got this guy here with a machete. And this guy here ducking. Getting good shots with his AK. And again, got another napalm launcher for making sure those heathens stay warm. I really like Cult of Inferno when it comes to the... you can do a lot of headcanon with them. So this is the fire team Dalmatian. This is got a napalm launcher as well with improvised sledge-thrower napalm. And guys hanging out got a cultist here in a fire suit. I was trying to make this look like a fire department, fire chief vehicle, because that's what it was originally. So like he basically leads the pack, and yeah, you got Noma Name Mortis on the back, and then you got the Dalmatian, and then the Molotov's cocktails in the back of the wagon. And this is a GTO wagon, so you know it's a Pontiac. And it's fast, and it's sexy, because Pontiac never made an ugly car. And then we got this Chaparral, the hot pink. You know, because it's Cult of the Inferno. It's hot pink. You know, we got the napalm launcher as well. This is a buggy. And very simple build on this one, too. That's a piece of tubing. The back half of a Volkswagen engine from another Hot Wheels kit that I then just kind of slapped into the tubing piece. And then 3D printed harpoon base that I didn't like how it looked. And then on top of that is the ring from a super glue thing. So that's what allows it to have look like it can turn and fire 360 degrees. And then you got the pink cop like lady, you know, the pink cultist enforcer, with a shotgun, you know. So it's got some good firepower close in and far away. And then we have another buggy. This is an MG Rover with a flamethrower. Big wheels, big engine, highly impractical looking. But I'm really happy with how the blue turned out on this one. And this is again nail art decals. You got the parachutes at the back, which I imagine has been replaced with droppers of some sort. One of the zero slot build droppers like smoke. But you know, very wide base. Like I said, it's probably not very practical, but it looks good. Yeah, being an Inferno vehicle, it's very dangerous looking. It's probably more dangerous to the driver than it is to the competition. And this one is the Armageddon wagon. This one is another heavy truck, flamethrower turret, harpoon, ram, all serious business with this thing. This was made out of a Final Faction piece. Then I 3D printed the harpoon. The flamethrower here is 3D printed. This is 3D printed. The armor plates are from Halen Terrain. But you can see it's like this. I'm not sure what kind of vehicle this was originally. It's like a hot rod Jeep truck. And so yeah, it's different. And then I got this 3D printed ram. I love how the ram turned out with all the skulls and spiky, pointy things. But yeah, it's definitely Cult of the Inferno. It's bright orange. It's got flames. It's got skulls, and it's these big wheels and the blowers and everything. It's probably one of the fastest heavy trucks in the field. And last but not least is the Evangelist. This was a GTO convertible, side ram, front ram, and then we got the cult leader with his flaming sword. If you've ever played Fallout, you know, the shish kebab. So he's got the tank on his back and the burning sword. You know, he's got the holy texts, and he's got the oil dropper at the back. And I wanted to really make it look like he's kind of like a dark pope. You know, instead of white, he's got this purple cultist look to him. You know, gas masks, big gold steering wheel medallion. You know, and but you know, and again, skulls and fire, but black and sinister. This is actually one of my favorite ones, how that turned out. So I left the regular Hot Wheels wheels on this one too, because it rolls, and I kind of like that 5-spoke wheel. So I decided to just leave that on there. And you got like the holy texts on the rear quarter panels. But yeah, so that's my Cult of the Inferno stuff. So, and it may not look it, but I actually been cleaning up my workspace a little bit here. But anyway, if you enjoy, you know, please like, share, comment, subscribe. It's a big help. I really appreciate people sitting through me showing this stuff off, and I love building stuff and showing it off. So yeah, I really do love Gaslands, and be able to build these is just, it's so much fun. But got 2 more factions really to feature. And I've got the October vehicle I've got to build. That's going to be an Oktoberfest themed vehicle. I still have no idea what vehicle I'm going to use or what I'm going to build, but we're going to figure something out for that. But anyway, I'll let you go. Take care, be safe, and goodbye.